Hey, this is Ari, and in this video, I want to share a little clip from a podcast I did with Dr. David Jockers on the benefits of fasting and intermittent fasting.
In the fasting world, one of the big mistakes I think people make is this idea that you've got to do like the same fasting window every single day. Okay. And when it comes to, like, for example, the hardest population to get to become very metabolically flexible are your young menstruating females who are very active. They do CrossFit, let's say, and they're also stressed. They're a mom, they've got a career. So they've got all these different stressors, and we don't want to just, increase, add in another nutritional stressor, especially if they're already low in body fat as it is. So we can do things where we can split up the fasting, right? Where you may do it every other day, right? Do some sort of like an intermittent fast where you're kind of pushing the fasting window. I think 12 hours overnight, again, unless you're pregnant or high level athlete in season, something along those lines, you have a newborn. I think that is something everybody can practice. But again, you're not really getting the autophagy, the deep fat burning benefits or anything like that until you push it up into that 16 to 18-hour window. That's really when you start getting real results.
Yeah.
And so, but it's also a stressor on the body. So we might do that 3 times a week, for example, you know what I mean? Every other day, or 2 times a week, non-consecutive days, depending on the stress load the person's dealing with
Mhm.
as a whole.
Yeah.
Um, but ultimately, to me, the goal is, let's create the level of metabolic flexibility to where you can do a 20 to 24-hour fast, water fast, maybe black coffee or herbal tea if it doesn't, if you don't notice a lot of cravings or anything like that. But I recommend no calories for 20 to 24 hours at least once a week,
Mhm.
depending on your goals, right? So a thin person, if you're already at your ideal body weight, you really don't want to do that more than once a week.
Mhm.
Okay. But if you're looking to lose weight, you might do 2 days a week of that or something along those lines, or alternate day fasting. And that can also be very beneficial. Or you could push it to where you do a 36 or a 40-hour fast, once a week, right? Just a little bit longer fast to stay in that high fat burning zone for a longer period of time. So I
Mhm.
think that doing that, if you're doing that every single week, right, for a year, you're going to get rampant amounts of autophagy, cellular healing, stem cell development, right? You're actually going to start to activate stem cells there too, because again, your body's trying to create more resilient cells. It says, okay, I've got this stressor. I need to be more resilient. I need more efficient mitochondria that are better at burning fat because I'm going periods of time where I need to use my own body fat for fuel.
Mhm.
So your body's just adapting to the stress that you put it under.
Hey, this is Ari. I hope you enjoyed this little clip. And if you want to listen to the full length podcast, the link for that is down in the description below. Also, one more thing before you go, I want to mention, in case you don't already know about it, our formula, Energenesis. This is an amazing product that has multiple compounds in it that are scientifically proven in numerous studies to increase your energy levels, not just by 3% or 5% or 10%, but by 30 or 40 or 50% in a very, very short time frame. So one of these compounds that I'll mention here is called NT factor phospholipid, and it is an extract of phospholipids that comes from lecithin, and they extract the pure phospholipids from this, things like phosphatidylcholine, phosphatidylethanolamine, and many others. And these are the same fatty acid compounds, phospholipid compounds, that compose our cell membranes and mitochondrial membranes. And this specific patented formula has been shown actually to enter into the bloodstream undigested, basically without being broken down and denatured through the digestive process in the stomach and the intestines. It makes it into the bloodstream and actually makes it all the way to our cells and to our mitochondria, where it helps repair damaged mitochondrial membranes and facilitates our mitochondria functioning better. Now, all of that sounds like wonderful theory, and it sounds like it could be beneficial, but the real test is, has it actually been studied and been proven to increase your energy levels? And the answer is Yes, absolutely. There are numerous studies outlined in a wonderful paper by a scientist named Garth Nicholson, in a paper called Lipid Replacement Therapy. I highly recommend checking this out if you're interested in digging into the research. But this compound has been studied in the context of multiple different kinds of chronic fatigue. Aging-related chronic fatigue, obesity-related chronic fatigue, obscure things like Gulf War illness, and numerous studies in chronic fatigue syndrome. And there are studies showing that this has the capability. They've taken one study, in fact, actually showed that in elderly adults over the age of 65, it restored their mitochondrial health, which had deteriorated heavily. It restored it to the level of healthy 29-year-olds, believe it or not. And they've actually measured energy levels in these people. And all of these studies across the board show improvements in energy of at least 25% and typically more like 35 to 45% in just the span of between 4 to 12 weeks. That's how long all of these studies are, 4 to 12 weeks. They're showing dramatic, huge improvements in energy levels by helping to repair these mitochondrial membranes through this thing called lipid replacement therapy, using, again, this patented form of a phospholipid extract called NT factor. This is just one of about 20 ingredients proven to benefit mitochondrial health that you'll find in my formula Energenesis. So I strongly encourage you, if you are struggling with your energy levels, if you're dealing with chronic fatigue, go grab yourself a bottle or 3 of this, or subscribe and save. Try it out. You are going to be blown away by the results. We get so many testimonials. We get so many emails from people talking about how this one thing has transformed their lives. So I cannot encourage you strongly enough to give this a shot. And let's say you buy 3 bottles, try out the first one, give it a month. And if you don't notice significant improvements, you can return the unopened bottles to us for a full refund. So give it a shot. I really think you're going to be blown away by the results. The formula is called Energenesis, and you can get it at theenergyblueprint.com or click the link below. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll talk to you again very soon.